Zion Williamson right now is at the top of the NBA trade market, and I want the Lakers to target him. After hearing some bizarre and of course crazy reports about Zion, this is the biggest rumor we're hearing right now, that speculation grows that Zion Williamson could force trade from the New Orleans Pelicans. This right now is what everybody's talking about. And with Zion Williamson being one of the most valuable young stars in the NBA with of course potential and a lot of promise, a lot of teams are going to be interested. A report from The Athletic last summer noted that Williamson's family wants the superstar to play for another team, calling the Pelicans a heap of dysfunction. For those keeping up with the NBA, when this report came out last year, of course everybody thought, will Zion actually force a trade? Because so far it's only been 2 seasons, it's super early for a new change of scenery. So of course ever since then, we have heard no talk about Zion being moved. But with Zion Williamson this year not playing a single game for the Pelicans due to injury, we're finally hearing some buzz of the future of what it could look like. Despite Zion right now not being available and the Pelicans not in a perfect situation for the playoffs, the Pelicans are still doing whatever they can to solidify their roster and improve. During this year's NBA trade deadline, they ended up doing a blockbuster trade, getting CJ McCollum in return from the Portland Trail Blazers to of course help out Brandon Ingram and so-called Zion Williamson when he does return. But after a very interesting CJ McCollum interview after he got traded, CJ McCollum says he still hasn't spoken to Zion since the trade to New Orleans. This is very interesting and very important to know. CJ says this specifically, "I haven't had conversations with him directly. I've spoken with some people close to him and look forward to sitting down with him sooner than later. I know about as much as you do right now, but I'm gonna get to the bottom of it." This might not seem like much to some of you, but to me, it means a lot. It shows different things. But I don't only have opinions, so does NBA vet JJ Redick, and he shared some very important thoughts with us. Check out this report, check out this interview.
Actually, this is a little bit insane to me. There's a general sort of decorum of behavior that you should apply as a teammate. Look, I wasn't the best player on any team I was on. But if there was a buyout possibility, if there was a trade possibility, I would always reach out to team. I called Ersan Ilyasova, I called Marco, I called Wes Matthews trying to get him to come to Philly. Like, this just shows a complete lack of investment in your team.
As you guys just watched it, JJ Redick calls Zion Williamson a detached teammate after hearing he didn't contact CJ McCollum after the big time trade. And if I'm gonna be honest, I agree with JJ. If you have a superstar or even an all-star or even any NBA player come to your team, with Zion being one of the best player, arguably the best player on the team, you should be a leader, a captain, and welcome CJ. And of course, with him not doing that, you can already tell that the possibility of Zion being on the move, or of course him requesting a trade, is not out of the question. With that being said, this is the biggest NBA report that NBA teams are eyeing Zion Williamson, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell as next stars to push for a trade. And of course, for this video, we're going to be focusing on Zion. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. If you're new here, welcome. You are most welcome to this basketball community, and my name is Soom, and I make basketball videos every single day. So if you're new, be sure to hit the subscribe button to not post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button on this channel. We don't just like it, we smash it. And of course, guys, a like goes a long way. I would greatly appreciate that. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about some Zion Williamson trade scenarios. And I'm going to start off with my favorite team, the Los Angeles Lakers. I would love to see Zion join LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I do believe if this trio would be the front court of the team, they would be unstoppable. They would have size, offense, and defense. With Zion Williamson being so young and still having promise, being developed with LeBron and Anthony Davis, LeBron's experience, his leadership, of course his GOAT status, and then with Anthony Davis at the front court, the Lakers can of course elevate Zion and AD to run their team for the next foreseeable future, and then of course LeBron will be there to mentor them as they keep pushing forward. So far with the experiment of Russell Westbrook, the Lakers haven't been able to really, be the best they could be. And that's why I do believe going into the offseason, let's say they don't do well in the playoffs, they're going to need a blockbuster deal to shift their team around. And now with Zion Williamson almost becoming available and is at the top of the market, I want Rob Pelinka right now to make phone calls, to inquire, to do some research on a potential trade. When talking about the Lakers specifically, I have two trade scenarios that I believe would be perfect for the Lakers to potentially get Zion. And the first trade is this. It's going to have to involve Russell Westbrook, and it's going to be Russell Westbrook, Talen Horton-Tucker, Malik Monk, their 2027 first-round pick, and 2 second-round picks in exchange for Zion Williamson, Devontae Graham, and Jonas Valanciunas, and also a second-round pick. I believe this would be an ideal deal to help the Pelicans and the Lakers. On the Pelicans' perspective, the biggest trading piece is of course getting Russell Westbrook. I do believe right now, with them having CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, bringing in a leader, of course more of a dominant point guard that's a playmaker, can run the team on the energetic level when it comes to the locker room presence, the on-the-floor vocal leadership. Russell Westbrook brings that. I do believe CJ is a leader and Brandon Ingram is simply developing, but of course I do believe they're a little more quiet than Russ, and that's why I do believe if the Pelicans want more of a leader, Russell Westbrook could be their guy. Of course, getting Talen Horton-Tucker, a young rising star in the NBA, will be beneficial as well to work alongside CJ McCollum and Brandon as a potential 6-man target. But if anything, THT could even start at the starting small forward and shift Brandon Ingram to the starting power forward. But then of course getting Malik Monk, I do believe would seal the deal. Of course on the Lakers side, they don't want to trade Malik Monk and they want to re-sign him, but let's be real, if it's to get a healthy Zion Williamson, I would not question it. It would be a good deal. On the Lakers' perspective, this would be a pure package in return, and then of course elevate a new complete starting lineup. Getting Zion Williamson, Devontae Graham, and JV, 3 starting caliber players, to of course be beneficial. I do see a starting lineup potentially of course maybe LeBron James point guard, and then maybe Devontae Graham shooting guard, maybe putting even Zion starting small forward. Is that crazy to say? Maybe that is a little bit, but even putting Anthony Davis at the 4 and then even JV at the 5. And of course, I do believe this would elevate their roster and lineup to a whole nother level. I do believe 100% the Pelicans won't make this deal unless they give up a first-round pick. And right now with the Pelicans already having a bunch of the Lakers' first-round picks after that big Anthony Davis trade a few years ago, this blockbuster trade would literally give the Pelicans all of the Lakers' first-round picks for the foreseeable future. But of course, the idea is the Lakers pull the plug to win a potential championship. But I do got one more trade scenario where the Lakers don't give up Russell Westbrook and then they have a more ultimate team. It'll be them offering up THT, Malik Monk, their 2027 first round pick, and their second round pick in exchange for Zion Williamson. Over here, it's simply a depth chart for a superstar, and then the Lakers end up keeping Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Of course, in this scenario, if I'm gonna keep it real, it's less likely because I do believe the Pelicans would want more than just THT and Malik Monk. But the idea is if the Pelicans value Malik Monk as a potential star like Laker fans do right now, the trade wouldn't be that far-fetched. And of course, right now with the Pelicans not even having Zion available, this would be an upgrade, especially when it comes to their depth and of course players being active. If the Lakers don't want to give up Russell Westbrook, I believe this would be the ideal deal. The finances match, the salary cap is perfect, and then of course the Lakers get a superstar big 4 of Russ, LeBron, Zion, and Anthony Davis. So yes guys, this wraps up my video today talking about Zion Williamson and the future of him being traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. But I do want to say this. The only way that I see Rob Pelinka and me encouraging to push for a Zion trade is if Zion can get healthy. So far this season, he has not played due to a foot injury, and from what we're hearing, he might need a second foot surgery to of course heal. Prayers up to Zion, we want to see him back in the NBA. And in all positivity, the moment Zion becomes healthy, becomes available again, we all know how good this guy is, especially in the interior, especially for his potential. There are talks that he could be the next GOAT, the next LeBron James. Playing with LeBron James could elevate his status and of course, make him the player we all want him to be. But be healthy, get healthy Zion, and then we are excited to see what your future holds. What's most important to me is I want to know your thoughts. Do you believe the Lakers trading for Zion is a good idea, or do you believe they should look elsewhere? Put your thoughts down in the comments below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!